So Capcom just dropped the full patch notes for Title Update 1, and I wanted to go over some of the biggest changes. First off, we got an official time of the release. It's dropping at 11 PM Pacific Time and 3 AM UTC. In other words, the update's coming out in less than a day at this point. It'll be 10 gigs on PS5 and 6 gigs on Xbox and Steam. And now for some of the biggest feature news. So while we already know most of the features, we got some details about certain things, like how Zoshia is actually a part of the story, which isn't that surprising. It'll be unlocking at HR 50. We're also getting new quests, and I assume these involve more things than just the Grand Hub, Mizutsune, and Zoshia. And of course, we're getting new weapons, armors, and skills. They're also upping the upgrade limit for armor past rarity 5. This means that all the endgame armor sets are going to be upgradable past the current defense values. This likely means that they want us to prepare for some of the harder monsters that are coming. Next, we're getting all the features of the Grand Hub that we saw in the trailer, including barrel bowling, the Diva, the arena quest counter, the canteen, and arm wrestling. I'm guessing that Capcom really wants to push the arena as the way to do speedrunning in Monster Hunter, since it'll be a way to have controlled hunts against monsters, without having to factor in the RNG of the environment, which should create a more balanced playing field. We're getting new status ailments, which isn't that surprising considering at the very least, Mizutsune should be coming with Bubble Blight. But maybe there's a chance that Zoshia also has something in high rank. They're letting us add an arena log to our hunting profile so we can probably show off our best times, almost getting some new voice lines as well as the ability to change their appearance. It also mentions that we're getting some new pop-up camp gear, which honestly there's quite a bit in the game already. And while it's not a full replacement, it's the closest thing that we have to housing, so I'll take it for now. We're getting more limited bounties to do, new voice lines, pose sets, and gestures, and we got a little more details on the event, the Festival of Accord. It's starting on April 23rd, and we're going to temporarily have a new handler outfit, a new sacred decoration, new songs for the Diva, new decorations in the Grand Hub, and some event-specific meals in the canteen. For the balance adjustments, they're changing the cost of resting in the camp to be 500 guild points, and now investigations will offer 10% more guild points than before. I'm pretty sure that this change is to kind of nerf the fish grind that people do to get easy guild points, since they want you to be hunting instead. They're also increasing the amount of points it takes to use Wyverian melding and to get decorations. Additionally, they're increasing the melding points that certain items give us. Another new feature that we're getting is the ability to restock our items at the provisions menu. That way we don't have to go back to the tent each time. In the Monsters and Endemic Life section, it says adjusted the behavior of some monster actions, but we don't have any specifics about what this means. There are also various bug fixes here, and I guess some fights are going to have camera distance increases so that we can easily see the monster when it's doing something. And now let's talk about all the player-related balance changes. The lance changes made it easier to land thrust attack finishers after a focus strike in which the first hit causes a large knockback. While I don't play Lance, I know that a couple of weapons struggle with this kind of issue, so this should be a nice improvement. The hammer changes fixed an issue where focus strikes could not be used quickly after coming to a stop after moving during a charge, which sounds like a nice improvement. Looks like Palicos weren't applying stun or exhaust properly, so that's getting bug fixed too. Hunting Horn has a change that said fixed an issue where certain actions that require simultaneous inputs were not behaving correctly. Both of the bowguns are having their ranged attack capabilities adjusted when firing from a sacred. I'm really curious about what this means. If you didn't know, some hunters actually use the sacred as their primary means of playing bowgun, because while it does give you a small damage decrease, the mobility can make it worth it in a lot of cases. And I know for people using spread ammo, they were using the sacred to kind of get around the heavy recoil of the ammo. So I wonder if these things are getting nerfed. And then Boa is getting a couple of changes. Dragon Piercer's damage is going down, Power Volley is going to do more elemental damage, and Thousand Dragons damage is going up. If you didn't know, Boa is a common elemental weapon in Monster Hunter, but with the balancing of wilds at the moment, people aren't really using element as much as they would in other games. So Capcom probably wants to change that. And last for Bow, Power Shot and Power Volley are now affected by the skill Charge Master, so maybe some build could start to use that. And now we get to the mantle changes. While it only says that the Corruption Mantle has been adjusted, it was confirmed previously that it is getting nerfed, so we'll find out how soon enough. As for the other mantles, Rocksteady is getting extra damage mitigation, and the Mending and Evasion mantles are going to have increased duration. All of these are great changes if you ask me. Oh, and also for the bowguns, apparently opening shot wasn't working with special ammo, so now it is. And now for the miscellaneous changes. This one's kind of a funny change, but the handler is going to be further away during hunts. I know that sometimes she's kind of annoyed people, especially when they're trying to use photo mode, because she photobombs a lot. The daily login bonus is now going to include 1 voucher for the barrel bowling, and it sounds like some days will also give us free meal vouchers. That's kind of huge to me because the ingredient system is kind of annoying. So if free meal vouchers exist, that means that one day we'll probably have a way to farm these. And hopefully, since we're having an actual gathering hub in a canteen, maybe even a way to share this as well. They also reiterated that we are getting improvements to both direct storage and VRAM usage for the PC version. While I won't go over all of them, there are a ton of different bug fixes around using multiplayer, including having your investigations wasted when you couldn't actually join a hunt. or having an SOS quest not appear in the SOS menu when the leader leaves. All in all, this is a pretty exciting update, but knowing Capcom, they don't like to put everything in the patch notes. So this patch could be kind of annoying for people that do a lot of testing, since this patch could change the behavior of certain skills, especially ones that might not be working properly. In any case, I look forward to experimenting with everything. If you enjoyed this, join the Discord, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.